Hit
What's up,
this main
guys?
screen. Hold on 1 second. All right, what's going on, guys? If anyone is joining in, welcome to Heroes Avenue. We got a special guest. Actually, not a special guest. We just have two people on the stream today. You'll get to see who's on next. Let's just hit this intro really quick.
What's up, guys?
Hold on 1 second. Okay, guys, what is going on? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue, and we also got Darren from Heroes Avenue. He's in the building.
What's up?
Yeah, one of those rare instances where both of us are on the stream tonight, and this is kind of something to look forward to because we're hoping to do more streams, and we're also going to be doing a Wonder Woman reaction review that Sunday after it drops. So the 27th at 11 a.m. What's going on, Jared Alvarez? What's going on, man? It's been a while since I think I talked to you, but welcome anyone who's joining in. We're gonna be talking about all DC topics today, guys. So what we have moving forward. You can see the first topic at hand is Superman moving forward with J.J. Abrams. We're also going to be talking about Patty Jenkins and what she had to say about Wonder Woman 3. And we're also going to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League because he's been going on these live streams lately, and it's been pretty kind of mind-blowing just how interactive with fans he has been. And we got a little tease of Junkie XL's score, and we're going to play that at the end. So with that being said, we're going to be talking about this Superman topic. Let's go ahead and let's pull up. Let me see if I can pull up. So here's where all of this comes from, guys. A lot of news gets spread and rumors get put up on Twitter. What's going on, John Early? JN, what's happening, bro? And so we're gonna go ahead and check out this right here, guys. So this just, I mean, Grace, we're not new to Grace on this channel. I'm sure many of you guys know Grace, but here's what she tweeted out just 14 hours ago. So, among the main topic, well, let's talk about the main topic first. She says, J.J. Abrams meeting with writers hashtag Superman, but no word if keeping Henry Cavill just yet. So, super, this is a super big, a big rumor, and especially peddled by Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph, to be honest, she's gotten a lot of hate about her Mandalorian coverage lately, but she's actually been kind of spot on with a lot of her rumors. So we're gonna also talk about what else she said in just a second. But J.J. Abrams moving forward with Superman. Darren, do you have any thoughts?
This has been rumored for the longest time, right? First, J.J. Abrams, there was talks about him doing either a Green Lantern series or the Superman series or a Superman movie. And so, I mean, I was never opposed to J.J. Abrams in the first place. I know a lot of this, the diehard Star Wars fans do have a gripe towards him. So I'm not part of that group. So I personally think he's a good director, and I can definitely see him, making a Superman movie. And so I just hope his ideas for Superman are rich and it's new. And so this is good news to me.
Yeah, so J.J. Abrams, I've been a big fan of J.J. Abrams. I know a lot of people are not, or they have issues with how he closes off his trilogies. I mean, Star Trek, for example, and obviously the most recent example is Star Wars. I loved how he started off. I don't blame him completely because I think Kathleen Kennedy over at Disney didn't really have a plan for the trilogy. So I loved what he did with a lot of things, but I do agree with a lot of the criticisms. But as far as a Superman movie, for me, he was pegged to do a Superman movie, I think in the early 2000s. And he had a script, apparently. I don't know. Are you familiar with the script?
I know it was like Superman Flyboy, right? But I don't know the details of the script.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, what's up, Jay? It says difficult to hear Darren. Let
Oh
me see if I
no.
can fix that. So my bad, guys. If there's any technical difficulties, we're still trying to get the hang of this streaming stuff, but definitely keep letting us know how it's going. But yeah, so yeah, J.J. Abrams had a script called Superman. Well, it's not officially titled Flyboy, I think, but that was the working title, I think. And from what I remember, it wasn't. I mean, I listened to someone explaining what the script was about, and it didn't sound like the most exciting Superman story, at least for me. It did have a lot of changes to the mythology. So my only concern is if we do have J.J. Abrams, I would think that they're gonna let J.J. Abrams completely do his kind of reboot the Superman franchise.
Yeah.
Now, I am not opposed to having a director kind of play out his vision. I'm totally for that, and that's why I really love Warner Brothers, at least up until recent years. But I think what most fans, at least from like for me and from my standpoint, most fans I think want to see Henry Cavill continue here. And what Grace Randolph points out is that there is no word on Henry Cavill just yet. And for me, it would really be a mind bending thing to not bring back Henry Cavill, who has such devoted fan base. At least Twitter is a big thing. The social media world is a big thing. But yeah, do you think it would work without Henry Cavill? And yeah, your thoughts on that?
Oh man, there's going to be so much backlash. There's so many devoted fans for Henry Cavill being Superman, and if they were to go that route and just recast Clark Kent Superman, it's going to be bad. And I don't know. Like right now, Warner Brothers is in a good spot with the fans already with releasing the Snyder Cut, and I don't know if they want to piss them off, that whole movement off, and just throw away what they currently have with the fans. I mean, there was rumors of with the changing Superman to like a black the black Clark Kent. I don't know where those rumors are right now, even if they are true or not. And I right now I would hope they don't go that route and just recast him, because I mean, he loves playing the character, right? And so if they were to, if he were to proceed with Man of Steel 2, Superman 2, whatever they're going to call it, and reboot the character, I hope they do something similar to how they did it with Harley Quinn, with Birds of Prey, how they kind of like changed up Harley Quinn, but kept some of, kept some of the things that we saw in Suicide Squad, but, elevated her character and made her kind of rebooted her, right? So I hope they go that route and not entirely change him, but do add some new flavors to Henry Cavill.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get into some comments over here. So let's see, Jesus Juarez, what's going on, man? Oh, so let me read a few, Darren, and then Darren, you can chime in back in again. So so Jesus says, I want Henry to stay as Superman. JN says, what if an Elseworlds type of deal like Batfleck and Pattinson? So that's an interesting thing. Batfleck and I mean, of course, I imagine if J.J. Abrams did do his thing, it would be an Elseworlds type of story, obviously, because they're continuing with Zack Snyder on HBO Max. And I think to kind of snub Zack's universe would be a big mistake, especially because they just got a lot of goodwill back with the fans. And to be honest, this movement is so big, it's grown to such a huge extent that they would be going with the multiverse type of thing where we have two Batman, we'd have two Superman. I just think Ben Affleck's been in what, 3 or 4 movies now? Was it 3 movies at least, right? And
and Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and it just feels like we've only seen just that little bit of that the Man of Steel that we could have. We haven't seen him grow and evolve yet, like you said. So yeah, I mean, I imagine it would be that type of situation, but I think fans, and Henry Cavill ain't getting no younger. You know what I'm saying? So we want him in his prime to continue as Superman. But again, if a movie came out, I would totally support it. John Early, sorry, Darren, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, if we were to get Henry Cavill in the HBO Max series, I think that would be fine. And then if they were to go but in the theaters they change Clark Kent and give us an alternate version, I think that would be nice. As long as we get Henry Cavill back in the suit somehow, I think the fans don't care what if there were 2 Supermans.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as we have Henry Cavill back in this.
Okay, I respect
Yeah.
that for sure. So John Early says it would be interesting if they decided to cast an actor who doesn't look like Henry Cavill because this alternate universe Batman Pattinson could have his own Superman. So
Yeah.
fair, totally fair, and that was something I would say until they announced that Zack Snyder was going to have his Justice League released. Until they announced that, I assumed we'd get a different version of Superman, and I assumed that his world would get their own version if they were to continue. If they were going to continue that way, with J.J. Abrams wanting to do Superman, I assumed, hey, maybe eventually they would introduce something like that, especially because Matt Reeves is introducing so many characters just in one movie. Like if he has a trilogy and people start to really love Pattinson and really they really just internalize him as their Batman, then I think uh, they might have gone that route. But yeah, I mean, still a possibility. Au pair Francis says, to be frank, WB always find a way to mess with DC properties, and that's pretty fair. We're gonna definitely talk about that in a little bit, especially with the Patty Jenkins segment. But before we move on, guys, before we move on from Grace Randolph's tea here, let's go ahead and look at the other little part she has to say. This is not a main topic, but I wanted to touch on it before we move on to the next segment. Says she also says James Wan wants a new Aquaman female lead to be an Asian actress, and she Grace also kind of expands on that a little below, and she says some of you are asking about Amber Heard. As I told you before, they are bringing on this new female lead to balance things out and the writing the script so that Heard's role can be cut down if needed. But as of right now, she's still in Aquaman 2. So your thoughts on Amber Heard and the Amber Heard situation and them adding an Asian actress and another female lead to the movie?
Yeah, I mean, the whole Asian actress thing, I don't even know if that's like what would be the point of that. To identify, fans with themselves on the screen, but I just hope they don't know. I hope they don't mess up that opportunity, because if you're just gonna just do it just for the sake of doing it, it's sometimes it never works out, and it's not a I don't know. It's not a good idea. And so I hope it feels natural. I hope it feels organic. Cool. Because, we grew up, we're both Asian. We didn't really see ourselves on the screen. So, every time we did, though, like for me, I loved seeing someone that was Filipino on the screen. And it just, for some reason, I felt connected somehow. But, if you're just going to do it out of the sake of just doing it, I don't even think it doesn't feel genuine. And so I feel like you could see that through the story, through the movie. And so hopefully he's able to find a character that does fit into the Aquaman universe. With the whole Amber Heard thing, to be honest, dude, I don't care. I don't care about Amber Heard's situation. I could care less. I mean. Mm-hmm. I think it's messy, and I've heard like other people say how, like, Johnny Depp bringing it to court like messed things up for himself, and just hearing about it, just like, I don't know, I have negative feelings about it, and mm-hmm. As long as she's able to, I'm able to separate what I think about the actor to who they're playing, as long as they're not like a pedophile or like they killed someone. Like, I don't even listen to R. Kelly anymore. But
yeah.
But in Amber Heard's situation, it's just her relationship with him, and it's just like it doesn't affect how I perceive like an Aquaman movie with Amber Heard in it. Like, I don't care.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Tom Cruise is like, he's known to be an asshole. I still watch his movies.
I don't know about ass. I don't know.
He's been.
But no.
This
I get you.
COVID thing, like,
yeah.
I agree with that, but like, just his relationships, like how he's treated Katie Holmes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's rumors about that, and I just
separating.
That's just who they are. These people are still hiring them, So I'm gonna watch these movies.
Yeah, no,
I honestly don't care though.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Part of the thing is, you got to be able to separate their personal lives and their acting career. I mean, to an extent, you get people like Kevin Spacey, who's like a
Yeah, that's what
child
I said.
molester, and yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that because I kind of feel the same way. Amber Heard, if they added an Asian lead actress, obviously the writing comes first, and then yeah, Amber Heard. If she plays a good Mira and if they have a good part for her, cool. I'm definitely tuning
Yeah.
out all that other noise right now. So before we move on to the next topic, let's go ahead and read it. Whatever you guys are watching have to say. Appreciate you guys joining us today. More people chiming in on the whole Superman topic. We're gonna read them and then we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is gonna be Patty Jenkins on Wonder Woman. So John Early says, I know a lot of people can't see Daniel Craig as Superman because they couldn't see him as Bond either. However, Daniel Craig loves Superman, unlike Jesse Eisenberg. And then quick point on that. Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg famously hasn't even seen BVS or Justice League. So pretty crazy. But as far as Daniel Craig, it would be hard for me to imagine him jumping in to another franchise because I know he doesn't want to be Bond anymore. And if he jumps in as Superman, I imagine he would have to commit to at least a few pictures.
Daniel Craig and Superman.
Yeah.
That's a total miscast for me, but
Hey, but to his point,
crazy.
no one saw him as James Bond either, and he's now my favorite Bond. I know that's blasphemy for some people, but he is my favorite Bond now. But yeah, Jay says I think JJ on his A game can redeem himself with a superb Superman movie. Just don't go like the Reeves Superman route. Do something fresh and exciting. I think Lobo in a Superman movie would be dope. Sean Franklin says hi. What's up, Sean? And this is a great segue. Jay's comment is a great segue into our Wonder Woman topic because he says, with a superb Superman movie, yes, you're only as good as your last movie. I mean, in the minds of people, right? And he can totally redeem himself. But Jay says, don't go the Reeves Superman route. And I am someone who doesn't want to see that anymore. To be fair, because yeah, it's been done. It feels like a different time period. We live in different times, which is why I love Henry Cavill's Man of Steel so much. But yeah, what do you think, Darren, about that Jay's comment? And we're gonna segue into Wonder Woman with this, but I think it was a great segue, his comment.
Yeah, I feel like, I do like the Christopher Reeve's Superman, right? And I also like Zack Snyder's version of Superman, and I feel like what Zack Snyder was doing was building up to where Christopher Reeves was, right? And I feel like Zack Snyder, he was trying to make us earn that Superman, and I feel like the Boy Scout Superman, like I love it, and I want there to be a Boy Scout Superman mixed in with some realism and not be like so.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
Well, I think Henry.
Grounded, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And so, yeah. So I hope he's able to mix those two.
yeah.
And not be so far on the left or so far on the right. Just right in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah, hopefully he can do that.
I thought this was a great segue because Zach recently went on the stream and said, went on some live stream. I think it was Zach who went on live stream and mentioned that, hey, some of the campiness, some of that is part of the character. So you got to have that in there,
Yeah.
but you also want to change it up and bring him into this modern times. And I liked this comment to segue into our next segment, which is Wonder Woman, because a lot of the criticism, not criticism, some of the comments leading into Wonder Woman 1984 is that she totally went Christopher Reeves, like that feeling of superhero movie. And yeah, so we're going to end it right there. Great way to end that segment, Jay. Thanks for the comment. We're going to go ahead and